I think we're all well aware of, and at one point might have even liked the company Tesla, the electric car company, before they came out with the Cybertruck. Well, Tesla wouldn't really be around without their iconic and infamous electric vehicles, which themselves wouldn't work without the famed lithium ion battery. But what if I told you that these batteries are not good? In fact, what if I told you that these batteries have more flaws than the Cybertruck? From unstoppable fires to unpaid abused miners, let's take a look at the many flaws of lithium ion batteries. Now, probably the most well known problem of lithium ion batteries is that they are a huge fire hazard. Without special safety precautions, lithium ion batteries can very easily catch on fire. For example, the infamous Galaxy Note 7, which, due to production errors, made it so that the battery had the potential to explode when it was being charged, which led to a couple of injuries and the phone having to be recalled. Now, this is pretty bad, but it could be much worse, due to the fact that lithium ion batteries are now being put into vehicles. You might be confused as to why electric cars getting into vehicle fires often gets on the news. Well, the first problem is that, much like the Galaxy Note 7, if the batteries have flaws with its safety features, it can just explode. The second problem is that when lithium ion batteries catch on fire, they are almost impossible to put out. Compared to regular car fires, electric car fires require huge amounts of water to be put out, and even when they are put out, due to the unstable nature of the battery, a small spark is all that is needed for the battery to reignite, which means that even more water has to be used. All of this is already very bad, since it means that electric car crashes are far more deadlier and more dangerous than regular car crashes. But we can get worse than that, since lithium ion batteries have been used on airplanes. This has led to many incidents, as between 2013 and 2014, multiple Boeing 787 Dreamliners ended up having to be grounded due to problems with their lithium ion batteries. And tragically, in 2010, UPS Airlines Flight 6 had an in flight fire from its lithium ion battery, causing it to crash and kill both crew members on board. Another problem with lithium ion batteries is their impact on the environment. Now, lithium itself is somewhat dangerous to humans, as it can be toxic in doses as low as between 1.5 to 2.5 MEQL in blood serum. But the biggest problem is with the other components of the batteries. For example, overexposure to lithium hexafluorophosphate can affect the digestive, circulatory, respiratory, nervous system, and your skin and bones. Basically, every part of your body. Polyvinylidene or PVDF polymers, which are used as binders in lithium ion batteries, releases extremely dangerous hydrogen fluoride gas when heated in the absence of oxygen, which can cause blindness and can become the very corrosive hydrofluoric acid in the presence of moisture. N-methyl 2-pyrrolidone, or NMP, a common solvent in these batteries, is a development toxin, and prolonged exposure to it can cause damage to the liver and kidneys, neurotoxicity, and, in pregnant women, fetal development issues and even death. Meanwhile, nickel, a very common cathode material found in many high-density batteries, is often smelted in coal-fired smelters in places like Indonesia. These smelters release carcinogenic sulfur dioxide, and many communities near nickel mining and smelting operations have reported higher rates of respiratory problems and deformities that are associated with the exposure to pollution. Then there's cobalt, another common cathode material which can lead to chronic respiratory and cardiovascular diseases and can affect the reproductive systems of both men and women, especially for the miners who mine cobalt. And speaking of mining, a large amount of the world's cobalt, possibly up to 70% of it, comes from Central African nations like the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Zambia. These countries often lack the proper laws and authority to enforce and protect the health of miners and the environment. Many individual artisanal miners have taken advantage of child labor, with up to 40,000 children as young as 6 involved in these operations. Meanwhile, the mines themselves are usually very unsafe, poorly ventilated, and are prone to collapse and cave ins. Even regulated mines in Cuba and Australia have been causing ongoing environmental damage to the surrounding environment. Speaking of environmental damage, lithium production in places like Chile and Argentina requires tapping into underground brine deposits, which are water deposits that are rich in lithium salts, which negatively affects the amount of water available for drinking and agriculture. These operations also require the water to be evaporated, which causes the byproducts to remain with the lithium after the evaporation process. These byproducts can include sulfuric acid, unstable uranium isotopes, and lime and magnesium waste, which are all carcinogenic and can increase disease in nearby communities. There is also the final problem that because it is more expensive to recycle lithium batteries than it is to buy the resources to make new ones, most old lithium ion batteries get thrown away or burned, which can release even more harmful pollutants. What I am trying to say is that lithium ion batteries are seriously flawed and that things need to change. The good news is that old lithium batteries can be recycled and refurbished for other purposes. However, it does require special knowledge and training to do so. The best way to bring about change is to bring awareness to the problems of lithium batteries and petition for the government to pass laws to allow for a more strict and rigorous process for manufacturing lithium batteries and thus improve lives and the environment. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.